The Europeans have has smelt a little bit of this type of banking behavior. We have had a history in Holland with ABN AMRO and Fortis where there's books about it. So we are getting to be a little bit more aware of it. But your main impact in Europe has been in Greece, where you have pointed out that Greece was under assault from Goldman Sachs and other bankers, putting it into debt and forcing it into austerity measures. But in the rest of Europe, I think it's not really your main audience, it seems. Well, what would you say to the Europeans if you say, okay, take Europe, Germany, France, and the pigs together, what should they know?
Well, in Greece, as you point out, they were sold a bag of worms by Goldman and other banks, debt that they should not have contracted to procure, that went bad, and now austerity measures are being imposed upon them, and it's been talked about quite a bit. Ireland certainly is a country that's been victimized by the global banking cartel and syndicate and the rackets. The global banking rackets have been victimized Ireland. Clearly, Iceland was decimated. I mean, I was in Iceland. I was in Reykjavik making this movie Money Geyser when I sat down with bankers from Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers who were still active at the time. And they were telling me quite openly that they plan to crash the Icelandic economy. They plan to crash the Icelandic krona as part of a scheme to make money on a fall in prices. Now, things are starting to migrate into Spain, into Portugal, into France. Where's Holland in all of this? They are susceptible to the same problems as anyone else. They've already went through a gut-wrenching real estate collapse already within the last decade. And I think this has conditioned a lot of people in Holland to the fact that they went through this huge real estate crash in Holland already, and they feel like they've already gone through the worst of it, and they are kind of stabilizing after this. So the question is Holland going to have another leg down in that real estate market, and is the asset values in Holland going to take another huge catastrophic blow? And if you can have an opinion about this, then you will have an opinion more about what's going forward in Holland.
But specifically if you're a Dutch or European civilian and you see decisions about the banking system, which ones are the most pernicious, basically? Which are the most it's generally the way that you talk about it and the way many people think about the bank system is that it's a big racket, it's a huge fraud, but there should be some string somewhere that you can pull. You have any suggestion?
For example, in Holland, I know they have. I have a lot of friends in Holland. I have, for example, at the Triple Bottom Line, the Brooklyn Bridge Triple Bottom Line Initiative, which is run by Robert Rubenstein, and it's all about the Triple Bottom Line Initiative that the company should be accountable. And there's a very high level of awareness in Holland about sustainability, about ecological issues. My friends at Greenpeace are in Amsterdam. I know them pretty well. I've gotten to know them over the years, and we've talked about different campaigns and different ideas. So the level of awareness in Holland about what's going on in the banking front and the ecological front, which I think is not talked about enough, the intersection of these two things, is quite high. So yes, you do have the same basic underlying element of banksters, but you also have in Holland a large number of people who are actively working to create sustainable businesses and do more sustainable banking. I know ING Bank was very much involved in trying to come up with more sustainable banking ideas, and there is some good work being done in Holland.